Four Seasons Loft. In Austin, I saw him pause. My eyes crossed to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear quick, ready for ear to ear. Craving that radiant rain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise, in paradise. Truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of July. Man, has this summer gone by fast? It just seems like this year's gone by fast. It's like I was talking to somebody about, my grandson and seeing him, and I was like, I haven't seen him but once this year. And normally I've seen him 3 times this year. And it's like every time I want to go, something happens. I can't go, and it's just driving me nuts not being able to hang out with him. And it's like this weekend, can't go. Next weekend is a big tournament. And then he's getting ready for school after that. So it's just like, I'm going to try to go in August sometime. It's when I'm going to try to go because that's the only time I have available because we've got one big tournament after another, after another, after another every weekend. So it's kind of crazy for me. Right now. Plus, this is a time ago. Plus, it was Thunder season with all the Thunder games and playoffs, and so a lot of that ran into my ability to go. So, but anyway, can't believe how fast this year's gone. Plus, we've had more rain, and it's just now starting to get hot. It's not like being in the South where it's just the humidity is just ridiculous. I mean, you step outside and you're sweating, and it's not quite that bad, but yet it is still, hot here in Oklahoma City. It just is. It just is what it is. But that being said, go play golf in the mornings. When I try to go, early. Get up at 7:30 or play about 7:30 in the morning. That way you can kind of, or 8 o'clock, you can get your couple hours in. So by the time it starts getting warm at 11:30, you're done. And especially if you go to Hefner, man, their their pro shop, their lunch is great. It's there. Their lunch is great. Greens is great. Oak Tree is great. Where else is great? Lincoln Park is great. James Stewart, James Stewart, down by Douglas High School. Fantastic breakfast and lunch. So a lot I love about a lot of these places is their lunches are just magnificent, especially for the Oklahoma City Oklahoma City municipal courses, which we've got some very good municipal courses. Don't get me wrong, we have some very good ones. Not as good as some of the clubs levels, like Oklahoma City Golf and Country Club. By the way, their men's grill and their lunch is great at the Oklahoma City Golf and Country Club. So love their stuff. The only place that we were talking about, Oak Tree's Club Specials. What is up with their club specials? Why are they terrible? We were discussing that at Flips the other night. I was like, I was talking to me and a couple of friends of mine, ladies, and they, their families all have memberships to all different clubs. And we were talking about club specials, and they're like, God, they do suck. I go, what is up with them? Why? Now it's different when you go. You know what a good club special is. You just do, and I love a good club special. And it's just sad that their club specials are terrible. I don't know why that they are. But anyway, forget all that. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day. This is the time of year that, we've got baseball predominantly, in our faces. Now WNBA has coming on and we're in their faces, or they're in our faces, which is good. There's some basketball, which I'm happy about. And it's good that, these ladies are fighting for their rights to make more money. And, the debate is, do you give them more money based off revenue, or you give them more salary based, like the NFL and whatever that are more established? NBA, baseball, all those are more established. And I'm like, well, and we talked about this yesterday, is that they need to chill out a little bit because you're now starting to make money. But then I think now that you're starting to make money, here's your opportunity to, well, strike while the iron is hot. And to me, it's like you get to that point now where these women are at the point where, yeah, go make your money. But as an owner, as whatever, I'm $400 million in. The NBA has spent $400 million. I mean, where's the fine line there? Where do we draw the line? Where do we say, okay, this is too much, this is not enough? Where's the line drawn? Where do we feel like we cut it off? And when I look at what the WNBA is doing, and you look at TV ratings are up. They're getting ready to sign a new key. Maybe they just signed a new TV contract. So you got all these things that they got going. You've got stars. You've got a couple stars. You've got Paige Beckers, who first you had Caitlin Clark, and then you have Asia Wilson, who doesn't really get any. She's your prototypical past great star that is fantastic. Starting with Swoops and that whole group. They're great basketball players, but people just don't know anything about them. And then you've got Caitlin Clark coming in. Now all of a sudden she's bringing all this attention. Then all of a sudden here comes Paige Beckers, and she's drawing all this attention. So you have all these young stars that everybody now can't wait for Juju to get there. And Juju is 2 years away, I believe, from coming out and being another star. So the WNBA is lining up, and where they're excelling to me is that you've got college, and we know about these guys. Or these guys know about these ladies. They are playing. We're able to see them in college. They're there more than 1 year. And I've said before, I don't think there's very few players who can be one and done, play 1 year and be done, or go straight from high school to the pros. I think you need at least 2 years in college, at least 2 years. Then you can tell what it is that you have. But the problem is, a lot of these agents don't want that because they know the longer these players are in, the less likely they're going to be able to make it. And you can go down the list ever since they went from being straight from high school to the pros, what happened after that? How a lot of these guys end up staying in college or never really being what you thought they were going to be in the pros. One, there's a lot of guys who go straight to the NBA before that who didn't pan out. They needed 2-3 years in college to become men, and then you look at the guys who are in college and stay 2 or 3 years, and you look at them coming out now and what they're being able to do. So to me, the NBA needs to look at college like football does. It's a breeding ground. You look at baseball, you go straight from high school to pros. I'd like to look at the number of guys who actually went from high school to Major League Baseball. How many of that percentage did? And then how many of them graduated from college after 3 years and were substantial all-stars? That's something that I would like to look at and find out what those numbers are. Okay? So to me, the WNBA benefits from college because we get to know who these young ladies are. We get to watch them grow up as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and we get to see them develop. And then when they get to the league, we already know who they are, and we're already in love with them. We're already in love with their game. We're in love with what they're doing. And that makes a difference. It's just like Angel Reese is who I was trying to think of. Angel Reese, what she's doing. Now, she's not going to draw the needle. Now, she draws the needle is because she's got a lot of haters, which she's okay with. If people are hating you, they're watching you. If they're loving you, they're watching you. But you got to have a villain somewhere in there, and she's chosen to be the villain against Caitlin Clark, which, whatever. And somebody was like, oh, well, they like each other. No, they don't. You can tell they don't like each other. And that's okay. Everybody doesn't like everybody. You don't like your teammates. I guarantee you that no matter what sport it is, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, golf, tennis, or not golf, there's not team sports, but basketball, baseball, football, soccer, baseball, hockey, I can promise you, women's and men's basketball, by the way, I can promise you there's people on your team you don't like. High school, junior high, AAU, there are people on your team you don't like, and that's okay. And my deal is this, there's people I didn't like, but when it came to time to playing, all that went away because you know what I liked more than anything, more than whether I liked or disliked somebody? I liked winning. I wanted to win. Didn't care about all that other nonsense. I wanted to win. So when you look at what the WNBA is doing, I think it's got to be a simple thing where you've got to put them on, and say, okay, we're going to do a revenue sharing. How much money we make, After taxes, that's what you get paid. Instead of going, here are your salaries, we're going to bump it all the way up. Give them a little bit more of a raise than what they did because they went from what 200. They'd go from what is the new projection is 250,000 to 384, and then I know it's at 16% to 25%, and the league has said no, we're not giving you that much money. And quite frankly, from their side of it, I've lost $400 million. But then from your side, also you got to look at it like you're now adding teams that generates revenue, that's bringing money in. So why can't you give these women more money? And to me, I'd bump up their salaries a little bit and say, okay, based on what we're going to make, then that's where you're going to make your money. Because to me, that's about the show that you put on, the product that you're putting out there, how many people are watching, how much money we've got coming in, and you're going to make your money from TV. Let's face it, that's what the NBA does. That's what football does. But unlike football, football is the only sport that says, this is how much you're going to pay to broadcast us. Every other sport is like, here's what we're offering you. Football goes, no, this is what we want. Because they are the big dog. They are the ones, if they bark, whatever they say, that's what you're going to do because you have no choice. They've got you over a barrel. For now, until that changes, which I don't see how that's not going to happen, but they have them over a barrel. They can do whatever they want, and they do it. And I love that fact that, power is good, and the ladies are now having power because of the exposure from Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Their feud, whatever you want to call it, because of now Paige Becker's coming in. But, when they used their WNBA All-Star games, which we talked about yesterday, they used that. Well, hey, you have a big opportunity, you're on TV, fight for your money. It's okay. If this had been 2 years ago, you ain't getting no money. Everything ended up happening at the right time. That's all it is, and now the iron is hot. Strike it. Get your money. But at the same time, you got to remember that you're dealing with people who are getting paid, who are already rich, who run businesses. They're not just going to give it to you. They're going to go, okay, well, that's cool, but here's where the numbers are, and this is what we can afford to do. The players, on the other hand, I think the WNBA players are more like football players. They tried to do the strike, and it didn't work. Basketball, it worked. But eventually, these ladies don't make enough money. You don't have enough of them to making enough money to where they can afford to say, okay, well, we're going to hold out, and this is what we're going to do. There's not enough of them to make enough money to do that. There's just not. So they can't afford to say, okay, well, we're going to hold out, and we're going to sit out, and you're not going to get paid. Well, that's not going to happen. They don't have enough of the football union. They've tried it. They couldn't make it. So they had to give up some things. Well, what football ended up giving up 2 years ago now is costing them now. The things you have to compromise, like NBA, same thing. I don't want to play this many. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to make. Well, they're saying, okay, if you want that, we want this. And now you're giving up things that you didn't have before because people don't realize the NBA players used to make more revenue generating than the owners did. Now it's not that case anymore. Because they wanted extra things over here, and the owner says, okay, we want to make you want that? Cool, we'll give you that, but we want more money over here. So you have to compromise a little bit. And greed is the thing. And a lot of these guys don't have money. They come from backgrounds where they didn't have any money, and when they get all that money, they spend it all. And that happens from time to time. It's just but that's the story of most people. You look at the NBA players. I was watching the story the other day about this NBA player who made $185 million in salary. And he had $400,000 in the bank. He had like $1 million in real estate. And then hey, Angel, what's going on? Then he had like another $5 million in stocks and bonds or something. 180 something million, and that's what he had left. And I'm just going, wow. But that's what happens from time to time on stuff like that. It's really, really sad. That's one of my players. I guess I should say that's one of my guys. One of my kids has passed away. Will Thompson the other night, he committed suicide the other night. It's my second kid to do that, and so that was one of my kids who was asking about it. So I'm gonna shoot this to him. For those of you all, I'm just go ahead and do this now. His services will be held, and I'll put this up tomorrow. I'll have it on the show. We'll have a little thing for him. But for those of you who are interested, Will Thompson's celebration or his funeral mass will be at Christ the King, which is in 8005 Dorset Drive. It's just east of May Avenue and just west of Penn. And it's at let me see, we'll be at 10:30 on Friday, 725 at Christ the King. Okay, and you can look up Christ the King Church. And but anyway, 10:30 on Friday is when the services will be held. And that was one of the kids that played with him on my team. Sorry about that, but yeah, it's kind of a tough thing to deal with. But anyway, Brendan, just to let you know, it's going to be Friday at 10:30 p.m. at Christ the King. So go ahead and check that out, and I'll send you the information on that. Okay, bro? I'll send you the information on that to your personal thing, to your cell phone. So I'll send that to you here in a little bit. Anyway, Angel, hey, sorry to hear that. There's never easy losing someone. No, it's not. It's just sad that he was a young man, one of my former players. He's the second player that I've had. They were different age groups. This age group was older than the kid who passed away a couple years ago, and they both did it by gunfire, which is just really sad that they went out that way. But when life was that hard for some of them, and it's just so hard, for people to do that. And I understand that sometimes things get to that point to where they feel like they have no way out, and they're just tired of they're just tired of being here. They're tired of the pain. They're tired of the stress. They're tired of all those things. So it causes them to do that. But we'll do it anyway. But anyway, Brendan, just let you know, I'll put tomorrow's show. I will put something out there for those people who want to know about his services and things like that. I'll do that. So anyway, that kind of messed me all up. Sorry about that, guys. That kind of screwed me up a little bit. But anyway, back to WNBA. I understand what the girls are doing, and I hope that they can make that work, and that they deserve to get paid. They're growing, but at the same time, you got to negotiate hard, but you're going to have to give up something. And it's like the men, when the basketball players, it's like, y'all can't play 82 games. I don't get that. I just don't get that. I mean, Michael had 4 to 5 years where he played 82 games in a row. When you look at what he did, and you look at Magic, you look at all these guys, they wanted to play these guys. Oh, well, I know I'm this and that. I got a fingernail. I got a this or that. I mean, come on, guys, play. But the difference is that they can get away with that now because the owners want them. They want their stars to be out there on the court more. But my deal is this: if you're going to miss games, miss home games. Don't miss away games. Those are 41 games you should go to, because that may be the only time some kids ever going to see you play. And their parents have got to the point where they, it's like LeBron coming to Oklahoma City. How many times LeBron actually been here and played? He's been in the league, 20 years? So he was in Cleveland a bunch, so you got to figure that's 20 times that he's played, that he should have played, and he did not. So when you look at all of that and you look at what should have happened, it's just frustrating to me that these guys don't play. That these guys don't play. It's just frustrating to me that they don't do that. I don't understand the situation. I don't understand what the problem is. I just don't. I don't understand it. I really, really don't. I don't know how you don't play as many games, but I get it to where they just want to make their money, and the less games they play, then the more the opportunity they're going to have to get that third paycheck or that fourth time around. Because when you look at SGA, this is his third contract, and he's going to get another one. Knock on wood, he doesn't get hurt. He's going to get a fourth and probably a fifth one. Look at Trae Young. This is his third one. He's going to get another one. And we know that, and I wish all these guys the best. But it's just frustrating to me. Look at Ben Simmons and Zion fleecing millions. I agree. I just, to me, I get the whole thing, but it is a guaranteed thing. This is why the NFL does not do what the NBA and Major League Baseball does. They do not give you fully guaranteed contracts. They don't do it because of that simple fact of that they can't afford to, because of these certain situations. And Ben Simmons has made what 190 million or something crazy that he's made simply because of the simple fact that he has guaranteed contracts. Zion Williamson, same thing. It's just sad to me that this is what it's come down to. But what it is the guys before them that set up this way for them to get guaranteed money. But to me, it's got to be some sort of clause in there that if you don't make this, you don't make this. But the flip side of that also is, as a former player, you have the opportunity is going to come for you to get hurt. So should you get penalized because you got to miss the year? I mean, it's like Jason Tatum. His first contract of his new contract is coming out next year. He's going to miss the whole year. Is that fair for him not to get paid because he's not playing and he tore his Achilles in the playoffs? So those are things you have to consider. Okay, so I get that, but I'm with you, John. The Ben Simmons and some of these things and some of these guys are just, it's just terrible. And that's why when you look at the WNBA, what do you do for them? Do you guarantee their contracts all the way, or do like what football does? Football only guarantees part of your contract. Whatever your signing bonus is, that's pretty much your guarantee. And you get it up front, which is cool, but that's your guarantee. This is how much money you're going to make. The rest of it, we'll see. Hopefully you'll get a chance to get that whole paycheck. Whereas Patrick Mahomes, his contract is at the end of this year, he's already gotten paid for next year. And if he makes when he makes the roster, the following year's contract is set up. So his in effect is guaranteed all the way through. Comes down to the work ethic. Tatum put in the work. I agree. But the whole thing is, John, what about those guys who don't? How do I can promise you the Players Association is not going to go for a deal that allows the NBA to change any of that. We're fully guaranteed. And I don't blame them. Hey, I want all my money. I want to be fully guaranteed. You can buy me out, but I want my money. I'm fully guaranteed. If I'm playing, I'm this. If I'm not playing, I'm still get paid. But Ben and Zion are perfect examples of those guys who are just making money. I mean, you look at Embiid. He's been hurt, but he's gotten all of his money. They just gave him a new max deal. He's getting all his money. But what also happens with a Embiid is he's also all NBA when he does play. These guys don't play. And so I saw this deal the other day, this meme or this picture with Zion with a bunch of gang members. It's like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? It's like Ja doing that stuff. What the hell are you doing? Those guys would give anything to be where you are, and you choose to go be with them. I don't get it. Those guys would give anything not to be in a gang, not to have their life on the line, to be doing what they love to do, to be a hooper. They love that and get paid millions of dollars instead of having to carry a gun and be worried about somebody sliding up behind them, worried about their mom, worried about their dad, worried about their brother, worried about their sister, worried about their girlfriend, worried about their wives, worried about their families. Somebody doing something to them. Why are you putting yourself in that situation? Now, it's different if you want to go in and you want to help the community, like Jim Brown did. Jim Brown had more power. He walked into the gang, east side of L.A. or west side, wherever the gangs are in L.A., no matter where it is. Jim Brown walks in town, Crips, Bloods, don't matter who you are, he can sit down and y'all going to have a conversation with the man. Because they know he's real and he's there to help them. He's there to try to help their lives better. Not to come in and hang out and have guns and throw a gang sign. All that nonsense. It's ridiculous. And he's getting hundreds of millions of dollars. Instead of him losing weight and keeping his ass in the gym, he's over hanging with them. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? And when you look at the WNBA, I believe these ladies want to play. I think they want to play as many games as they want to. I think you need to add, I would say we're going to pay you more money, but we're going to add more games. We're going to add more games so we can create more TV revenue. so we can add more games, more advertising, sell more tickets for season tickets, do more concessions, do more jersey sales, do more merchandise, all of that stuff. Let's do all that. So the WNBA is a good spot. But like I said, to me, if I'm the owner, I'm like, yeah, I want you guys just to say, here's what you're going to make based off what the revenue sharing is going to be. But I'm not giving you 25%. I'm going to give you, what are they, probably at 20, 21 or something like that. And the ladies want more. And my thing is just get as much as you want. But I can promise you, they're going to take something else from you that's going to come back and bite you because you got greedy and you wanted more money. They're going to get you on something else that they know is going to come back and bite you. And you look at baseball, it's the same way. Football, same way. Basketball, same way. You've got to give up something that's really, really going to be important down the road, and you're not going to see it until you need it. But they already knew it because they've been doing it forever. They know what it is. They're better at it than you are. So they know what they're paying. They know what the situation is. They know what they're doing because they've been doing it longer. But go make your money, get as much as you can. And to me, if I'm the ladies, I want more guaranteed salaries if I'm the women. Y'all still want revenue more than the 9%, 20%? Okay, we'll take that, but give me guaranteed salaries. Let's go from $250 to $384, $400,000 guaranteed money. And you take more money on this side, and we'll take our money here. But let's make our money guaranteed. Let's give us more money per year, and we'll take a little bit less in revenue. That's what I would do, because that's money, something that I can grab right then and have more. And then the rest, we're going to take that money and we're going to put it into the retirement fund for the girls to make sure they made more money and that sort of thing. So that's what I would do to create so they can make more revenue generating for the women who have retired and give them more money. The Cheryl Swoops and those type people. That's who I would. That's kind of how I would do it. Ruthie Bolton's and those ladies that before you guys. Tarasi's probably fine, but that's just me. So. Well, let's take a quick break. I want to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up. They love to take care of you. And if you have any needs for a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit these guys up. They love to take care of you and make sure everything is smooth. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They love to take care of you to make sure that you get everything moved. And also, I've got a friend who did some demolition on a house that he had renovations, and he called my guy Jose and said, hey, Jose, can you come haul this stuff off? So Jose came over, they dumped all the stuff in the dump truck, he hauled it off for him, which is fantastic. So he also can do that for you as well. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. The Equal Housing Lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, or go into one of their 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 to 39th Expressway. YNB YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there in front of the hospital. Cannot miss it. And then YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. This stuff is so good. God, it smells good. And as they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And I do. That's some good smelling perfume. They got good smelling cologne. So if you're a woman and you want some perfume, go to the Dillard's store there for the women's part on the west side of Penn Square Mall. Go in there and get you some perfume, and then go take care of your dude. Go take care of your guy. Get him some stuff over at the men's department. They also have Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, the Town East Mall in Wichita, Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, and South Plains Mall in Lubbock, Texas. Westgate Mall in Amarillo. I still have not been to Amarillo. I need to go in there sometime. I really, really need to go check out the Amarillo Mall. I do. I need to go see what that's like. I haven't been there. Anyway, here's our question of the day, guys. We're trying to get more and more in where we do these questions of the day, and I get beat up quite a bit. It's just like yesterday we were talking about Tiger Woods versus Scottie Scheffler. And I do like Scottie, but to me, in the 2000s, that year 99 to 2000, I saw a stat where Tiger won 65% of his tournaments. 65% of his tournaments those 2 years. Those 2 years. 65%. Scotty ain't gonna get close to that. And like I was talking to people who they were DMing me and stuff like that, I'm saying Scotty is really good, and I like what Scotty's doing. But Scotty is respected, not feared. Tiger was feared. And all these guys in the 2019 Masters when they came at Tiger, all of them wanted to play him, and they all did what everybody else did. Vijay Singh, all of them, what did they do? They pressed down the stretch because they knew Tiger was coming, and they missed putts. They missed shots, missed opportunities, and Tiger's boom, 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 steady, 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 steady. So anyway, so we're going to do a question of the day every day. So today is the top 10 NBA combinations of all time. Here's our deal. MJ and Pippen clearly number one. Kareem and Magic number two. And the reason why I went with this, MJ and Pippen have 6. Kareem and Magic have 5 together. Steph and Clay have 4. Bird and McHale have 4, I believe, or 3. Parker and Tim Duncan, I think they have 4. Isaiah and Joe have a couple. Remember, they went back-to-back. And the only ones that go back-to-back in this whole group is Kareem and Magic and MJ and Pippen. Now, they did it 3 times, twice, which nobody else, that's why they're number one. Clay and Steph did it back-to-back, and I believe they would have done 3 had Durant not gotten hurt. So I didn't really put KD in there with them, but that should have been a triplets if you want to do triplets. They're probably the best triplets of all time. That'd be KD, Steph, and Clay. But anyway, Jerry West and Goodrich, you have to put them in there simply because, let me just go down the list since I'm flying all over the place. Michael Jordan and Pippen, they won 6. Clearly they're the best combination of all time. Okay, clearly. And then Kareem and Magic, they went to, Kareem and Magic in the 90s or in the 80s, and the Bird and McHale. One of them were in the finals every year. Now everybody talks about how LeBron went to whatever. I'm like, that's nonsense. He stayed in the East. He didn't come out of the West. He stayed in the East the whole time because he knew the only chance for him to do is to stay in the East. If he went to the West, it wasn't going to happen. He's been to one final since he's been in the West. He's been in the West, 6 years, 7 years? He's been to one finals. So, that's why I said before when he was going off, I said, that means nothing to me. Take your ass out the East, come to the West, because you're in the East and you're getting your ass beat by the teams in the West. So I don't want to hear it. Anyway, MJ and Pippen won 3 times in a row twice. So I've got to give them their props for that. Then Kareem and Magic, like I said, they were there almost every year for 10 years. What did they win? 5, and they lost to Larry Bird and McHale. They lost to Dr. J and Moses. They lost to Isaiah and Joe Dumars. They lost to MJ and Pippen. So they lost to MJ and Pippen. They lost to Bird and McHale. They lost to Isaiah and Dumars. So that's who Magic and them lost to. When you look at this list, they lost to 3 of these teams. They lost to Jordan. They lost to Bird and McHale. They lost to Isaiah and Joe Dumars. That's crazy. They've lost to 3 of the teams that was on there. But that being said, they beat Bird and McHale 2 out of 3 times. And they beat, I think, Isaiah and Joe Mar. I think they were 1-1, I believe, is what they were. I think they beat them in 88 and lost to them in 89. I believe is how it worked, something like that. MJ and Pippen, Kareem and Magic, and then Steph and Clay. They were just fantastic together. Probably, arguably, one of the best backcourts of all time. And you'll look at these teams and who were the backcourts. Steph and Clay backcourt. Frazier and Monroe, which we'll talk about in Earl the Pearl Monroe, backcourt. Isaiah and Dumars, backcourt. Those were the only backcourt. I don't know if you consider MJ and Pippen backcourt. Pippen was a more of a wing guy, so I don't really consider him that. Okay. But when you look at this list, Steph and Clay, they were just fantastic. And then when they got KD, they were just unstoppable. And I believe that they would have won 3 in a row, maybe 4 in a row, had Clay not tore his knee up, or tore his knee up and then KD's Achilles. If they hadn't done that, I believe this team would have probably did the same thing that MJ and Pippen did, would have won 3 in a row, possibly 4 in a row. But nobody really know how many MJ and Pippen won simply because they were that. Now, who I'm missing on this list is Shaq and Kobe. And I thought about that, but I'm just like, who do I take off if I put Shaq and Kobe in there? I mean, the only people I would probably take off would have to be Stockton and Malone. If I had to really think about it, I would probably have to take Stockton and Malone because this is the only ones who did not win a championship because they had to run into Pippen and there. Who is my favorite on this list? Man, I would probably say Kareem and Magic since I'm a longtime Laker fan, John. I would probably say those are my favorites, but I think I'd probably have to be remiss not to put Kobe and Shaq. I go back and I look at this, that's a mistake because they won 3 in a row. So to go back and look at this, man, John, I think I'm gonna have to take an L on this, leaving Kobe and Shaq out. So I think that what I'm gonna have to do is redo this, and would have to be MJ and Pippen, Kareem and Magic, and then Steph and Clay, Kobe, Shaq, then Bird and McHale, Parker and Duncan, and then go that way and take Stockton and Malone off, even though they were fantastic for a long, long time. This list sucks because I did not have that on. That is a definite miss by me, but I just didn't want to put 2 Lakers separate on there. But my favorite would probably have to be Kareem and Magic, and then that would have to be my favorite. Dr. J and Moses, I was okay Moses Malone fan, but I was a huge Dr. J fan. He's in my top 10 of all time, and it's crazy. Let me see how many of my top 10 of all time are in this list. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of my top 10 players of all time are on this list. John, that's Michael, that's Kareem, that's Magic, that's Bird, that's Dr. J, and Tim Duncan. So that's Michael Jordan, Kareem, Magic, that's 3. Bird is 4. Tim Duncan will be the 5th. And then Dr. J is the 6th one. So of that group, still like Stockton and Malone. I still like them too, John, but if like I said, if I had to take out somebody, that's what I'd have to take out because they didn't win. Isaiah, they won 2. Weston Goodrich won 1. But okay, let's go all the way back down the list. Let's start. Let's finish. Bird and McHale, they were just awesome together in what they did in Boston. Still, the '86 team is one of the top 5 teams all time in the history. They lost 1 home game, 2 home games the whole year. They were, including the playoffs. It was some stupid on the run that they went on. So that '86 team is still one of the best teams of all time. Parker and Duncan were just. The thing is this: they were solid. Plus, they went against Kobe and Shaq. They did what they had to do with that group and with Kobe. And so that team, and Manu Ginobili was the third leg in that. And once again, if you have to add a third, then you'd have to add the third with that. So if I do a 3, this is Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and then Tony Kukoc, all 3 of them in the Hall of Fame. And then with Magic, you go Kareem, Magic, and James Worthy, who was the best player I've ever played with. So that would be their threesome. Steph Curry, Clay, and KD, that threesome would all be together. So all 3 of them. So Hall of Fame's all 3 in the first. Hall of Fame all 3 in the second. Hall of Fame all 3 in the third. And then the 4th, Bird and McHale and Robert Parrish. All of them are in the Hall of Fame. Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili, all of them will be in the Hall of them are in the Hall of Fame. Isaiah Dumars and Dennis Rodman, all of them in the Hall of Fame. Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, and Elgin Baylor left right before that. So Weston, I don't think Gail is in the Hall of Fame, but West and Elgin Baylor are in the Hall of Fame along with Wilt. So you add them, they're all in the Hall of Fame. Dr. J. Moses and Bobby Jones, all of them in the Hall of Fame. Walt Frazier, Earl Monroe, Willis Reed, DeBuscher, all of them are in the Hall of Fame. And then John Stockton and Malone are the only 2 that you would do from that group. But, man, I did miss it on the Kobe thing. I will admit that I messed up on that one. I will say that I messed up on that, no doubt. No doubt. I left Kobe and Shaq off there, and I'm gonna hear. I know I'm gonna hear big time on that one. But that's my list of the top 10 combinations. And like I said, if I have to redo this list, I would say that I would put it would be MJ, Pippen, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, Steph, Clay, excuse me, Bird and McHale, Steph, Clay. Well, no, Steph and Clay won back to back. Bird them didn't. Uh, Tony Parker, Isaiah. So that would so John. If I had to do it all over again, Angel, same thing. I think I would probably have to drop Malone and Stockton. But I felt like because they were so great, I believe they would have won one had they not run into Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I believe they would have a ring if it wasn't for that. It's kind of like Phil Mickelson would have more championships or more wins and more majors if it wasn't for Tiger. I'm a firm believer in that. And I did drop the ball, so I'm sure I'm going to hear that on my list when people are talking about. Uh, I still love. I know I'm going to hit that. I know I'm going to hit that when people are going to be talking about that. I know I messed up on that, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm going to admit that I screwed up, and I'm admitting that now. And I know these people are going to get mad at me, but I might have to go back and and redo that. But anyway, John, what is your favorite, John? Who is your favorite on this list? You still like Stockton and Malone the best, huh? I messed up. Man, I don't know how I messed up with the Kobe Shaq. I think I probably did this too fast. My list tomorrow, I'm gonna start earlier tonight, putting that together. That's what I'm gonna do earlier and get it done earlier. And then we got to do one. We need to do one for football. We need a different one for the different sports. That's what we needed to do instead of just doing basketball. But right now I'm still in basketball mode. I don't know why. I just am. And with the Thunder players and with the grades, and I did all that yesterday. So was a Jazz fan growing up. That's why. Okay, I can see that. Well, then your heart was broken, bro. Your heart was broken. Jordan and Pippen broke your heart, losing 6 games with that. And then another thing about this, that group, Jordan and Pippen never went 7 games. Kareem and Magic, I know they had to beat Boston in 7, I believe. Clay and Steph, they lost to. I need to drop them lower because they got beat, but of course that was because of knucklehead. Bird and McHale, they never got beaten in a 7 game series. I think they won all theirs. Well, no, they lost to Magic. And then Parker and Duncan, they may have lost to Kobe and them. I know they beat Kobe and them. But, that's, man, I'll just look at that. How the hell I miss Kobe and Shaq? They should have been higher on my list. In fact, I'm going to go back and change that because that's just bugging the hell out of me just looking at that. And I'm sorry, John. I'm going to take your guys off. I'm sorry. Because that is just a travesty not having Kobe and Shaq. I'm sorry. I'm going to put them, I'm doing my list now, guys. I'm redoing it because to me, that's just not fair. I mean, they won 3 in a row and they were just absolutely dominant. It just messes with me that they didn't do it long enough. It still bothers me that Clay and Steph lost the way they lost, but I'm putting them ahead of Parker and them because I don't believe Tim and them did. They never won 2 in a row, so I'm taking. And I'm sorry, I know you're gonna be mad at me, John, but I'm taking them off. That's what I'm doing. Making my favorites, and then I know I'm gonna hear it, but I'm redoing this list, and I'm gonna redo it on my page because I just think that's fair. That's just I don't know how the hell I missed that because those two were dominant, and I'm going to rectify my mistake right now, which is what I'm doing on my page while I am talking to you guys. I'm redoing my list. And bam, that's my new list. And I'm redoing it on that. And I'm going to repost that here. And it's going to show up in just a second because that was wrong of me to leave them off. And I know I'm going to hear about it on my page, but that's why you shouldn't do them late. You should do everything the day before and think about it. You can't do it last minute because when you do it last minute, that's what happens. But anyway, this is better, and I'm sorry, John, that I had to do that, but it's just not fair. This is more of a updated and what it should look like to me. But the Stockton Malone, I think had they won one, I would have probably taken off. I probably would have taken off somebody else. But because they didn't win one, I can't put them in there as a combination. But they were deadly. And then Stockton being who he was and the player that he was, it was just absolutely incredible. So they were studs together. And, I mean, they're definitely honorable mention. Honorable mention 100%. So, okay. But anyway, now I'm starting to get texts from some of my other players. So I'm going to get off the deal here right now so that I can address my players because they're all wondering who else going to be. They got me in a group thing. So I need to address these guys real quick about the funeral on Friday. What are, work, just tell them, hey, kind of, they're looking to me to be the coach and get all this together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now and get off the show right now to get that done for these kids because these are my boys and they're always going to be my boys, just like you guys would do as coaches or parents or whatever, kind of putting these guys together as a group. So that being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Peace out. See you later. Remember,